Hey, how's it going, guys? It's me again. I'm back, just wiping some of the dust off this thing since I haven't been here in a while. I mean, I've been here. I've been gone a while. I'm getting in the swing of things. I don't really have an excuse for it. It's just one of those things where the more I put off YouTube, the harder it was to get back into doing it. I recorded several videos, but I just never got around to posting them. I mean, I never got around to editing them, mainly because I knew I had to make some sort of update video to explain things, but it just didn't go around like that. Point is, I put YouTube on the back burner. I've been writing a screenplay. Yeah, another thing is school. I'm trying to focus on more school recently. It's been going about as well as you'd expect. And anything else? The Walking Dead compendiums. I read compendium number 1, which was this right here. They're pretty lengthy books. They're very heavy. Jeez. I mean, just compared to like here's a comparison of Civil. And anyone who's read Civil War, Civil War is not a short Marvel comic. I mean, it's not long either, but it's definitely not short. When you compare it to that, you can see. And I've not read 1, I've read 2. Compendium number 2, which is just as long. Point is, I've had my fill of Walking Dead. Since I've been reading The Walking Dead, I finally decided to buckle down and watch the last few seasons of the show. Because, yeah, I actually used to love The Walking Dead up until about the midway point, season 6. I kind of lost interest. I didn't watch the last season 6. I watched the first episode of season 7, but then I didn't watch season 7, and then I didn't watch season 8. I lost interest. A lot of people lost interest. The Walking Dead went downhill. Apparently, I haven't watched it. But then season 9 came out. I thought season 9 looked kind of cool. I decided to watch a couple episodes of it. I really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this actually isn't that bad. So I decided to, since the comics kind of piqued my interest in it again, I decided to buckle down and watch finally the last 3 seasons of the show. And this is it. I've now caught up to The Walking Dead. I thought it'd be kind of fun to rank them. Kind of out of nowhere, I know, and it's a weird video to kind of jump back into after being gone for so long, but I'm kind of Walking Dead out right now after reading these 2 stupid compendiums and then watching the show. And I still have a whole nother compendium left. Without further ado, let's get into this. There's really no better way to do it than to just do it. So let's start off. I definitely should have made an idea of how I was going to rank these seasons, but I think I'm just going to kind of wing it. I'm not much of a planner. Do I look like a guy with a plan? Isn't that the quote? Something like that. You talking to me? Oh, I don't know what that one was. I bet you're wondering why I'm going to put it at number 8. I don't know. I'm making this list as we go along. But I feel like my least favorite season, it would probably be season 7. I feel like that's probably my least favorite. I know a lot of people tend to hate season 8, but I feel like season 8 did a good job of correcting some of the issues that season 7 made. Oceanside and the junkyard people. I understand Oceanside was in the comics, but I thought it was just a waste of time. The junkyard stuff was stupid. What are they called? The scavengers, I think is what they're called. And they were just, the episodes that involved Tara and Oceanside I thought were really stupid. Only because it's like, I don't care about Tara. I never have. It was just boring, and it made me want to focus on the true star of the season, which was Negan. I still thought Jeffrey Morgan was great in the role. I still think he's fantastic casting as Negan, and I enjoyed every second he was on screen. There were some cool episodes. I liked 2 episodes that actually a lot of people hated right off the bat. I liked The Cell, and I liked The Well, which are 2 episodes that a lot of people hated. The Cell being the episode that focused on Daryl and Negan's captivity. I thought it was a good episode. I thought it kind of made Daryl more human, because I don't know, I just wasn't buying him. He's kind of boring in the last couple seasons. No, he's regarded as the best character of the show. I really did like him the first few seasons, but then they didn't really have anything to do with him, and I don't know, I thought it was good. A lot of people hated it because of that. And then I liked The Well, which was the episode that introduced to my favorite character in the comics, King Ezekiel. I didn't know if they would mix into the real world as well, but I thought they did a good job with it. I think they did as good a job as they could have with him. Then the series goes off downhill pretty fast. I thought the season finale was alright, but everything else in the middle, I just wasn't a fan of. There's a couple good episodes right off the bat. I thought it got off to a really strong start, especially with that season opener, which was, wow. A couple good episodes off the bat. The rest of the season I thought went downhill. It was just plot filler. There were a couple of highlight moments throughout it that I thought were pretty good. The season finale was good, but everything in the middle just kind of dragged. Number 7, I'm going to go with season 8. Season 8 did some things to kind of correct the issues of the first one, or of season 7, in regards to finally getting rid of the stupid scavengers, which I thought was completely ridiculous. I love Stephen Ogg. Every time he's on screen, I think of Trevor from GTA. So I know a lot of people hated on Stephen Ogg. I loved him. I thought he was great. Him and Negan both were on screen. They stole the show. I thought a character dying, I'm just gonna say, Carl's death halfway through the season was a major plot twist that I hated and then I liked. I hated it because I thought it was stupid that they actually started doing something interesting with Carl, because he's been really done absolutely nothing for the past 8 seasons. He's just kind of hung around, and we kind of waiting for him to the point where whenever Rick or Andrew Lincoln decided to pass the torch on to him, which we knew Andrew Lincoln was probably going to be leaving the show soon, so it seemed like the right choice to kind of pass that torch on to Carl and let him become the main character. But then Carl just kind of, he died off, and it's like, now what are you going to do? So I thought that was stupid. On one hand, I liked it, because I'm like, man, what a plot twist. But at the same time, it's like, what are you going to do now? Luckily, they handled it well. I thought season 9 did a good job with it. I don't really have anything to complain about, so I'm actually all right with it. The season finale was pretty good, but I think the problem I have with it is that there's no episodes that really stood out as great, which is why a lot of people said season 6 is the worst season of the show. I disagree simply because I thought there were some really, really good episodes in season 6. Season 8, I felt like the whole season, as a whole, I think season 8 was better than season 7. Wow, we've wasted a lot of time and we're only at number 7, so let's get this list going pretty fast. And number 6, season 6. Surprise, the last 3 seasons of the show were the worst, as it turns out. Season 6 had a really good start. I liked the subplot with the wolves. I thought that was really good. I liked the whole kind of first half of the season. I don't really have any major complaints except for the scene or the stupid subplot with Glenn hiding under the dumpster, which I thought was like completely ridiculous. Like anyone actually thought he was dead, and then he came out, we're like, oh yeah, he's alive, and then he just died a few episodes later with Negan. So it's like, oh, what was the point of that? It had some good episodes. I liked the JSS. That's the big thing. I love the wolves. I love the whole first half involving the wolves. I love the mid-season finale with Jesse and Braun and all them dying. And I also liked the very end, the last episode of the season, which people hated. But the episode with the saviors just toying with the survivors as they were trying to drive around, trying to escape Negan's men. And I actually really liked that, so I thought it was really tense. I don't mind that they ended on such a cliffhanger. I think it just made me look more forward to the season finale, the season premiere. Yeah, I thought there were some really good episodes, some good highlights in season 6. I thought there were some really solid episodes throughout it, but there's some pretty down points in it, and mainly in the second half of the season where things just seem to stop and never really picked back up for me, involving the saviors and stuff. I do think this was the moment where the series definitely started to go downhill. Moving on. Yeah, so number 5, I'm gonna throw a curveball, something not a lot of people are expecting. I'm gonna put what most people consider one of the best seasons, and I will say that the next 5, there's quite a big gap between number 5 and number 6. So, but for number 5, I'm gonna have season 3. Yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for that, but it's true. I thought this season was the hardest one to sit through in the earlier seasons. I love the beginning of it, and I love the prison as a setting as a whole. But there are some things that I didn't think were really necessary. Certain things they brought over from the comics into the show that they didn't fit quite well. It's one of those things where it's like the show has differed itself so much from the comics, and in my opinion, in a good way. But there are certain things that they brought over from the comics that I'm like, all right, out of everything, you could have left that off. Mainly the scene with Rick talking to dead people. In the comics, it made sense. After the prison had been destroyed, his wife was dead. He hears a phone ringing, and he starts talking to his wife. This is after the prison had fell, and it's just Rick and Carl by themselves, and he starts talking on his phone to Lori. He's just hearing her voice. Sorry, my phone. But he hangs onto this phone just so he can hear her voice again. It's actually really sweet. I actually like what they did within the comic. In the show, it's like a shock value thing. Rick's losing his mind. He's seeing his ghost wife everywhere, and he's getting this phone call from all the people who have died in the past, and it didn't work for me. I thought the governor introduced was really good. I love the scene with him on screen. It was great, but I didn't like Andrea, and I thought her introduction to the show was completely pointless. They made me hate her in season 2, and they tried to make me care for her in season 3 to no avail. I'm sorry, but I could not stand her anytime she was on screen. Thought she was alright in season 1. Season 2, she's insufferable, and season 3 just couldn't resurrect her for me. So, and it sucks because Andrea realistically should have lasted a lot longer like she did in the comics, but they completely ruined that with season 2. Speaking of which, season 2 is considered by most to be one of the worst seasons. I do pick it over season 3 for reasons I'm about to mention in a little bit. I like the setting. I hated the season finale. I liked the scenes with the governor on screen for the most part. Sadly, they kind of tainted his scenes with Andrea constantly being there. It's a harder season to sit through, in my opinion, than season 1 and 2. Maybe because season 1 and 2 were shorter. Anyways, with that being said, we'll move on with this. Unpopular opinion, I know. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, though. That's just mine. I don't hate season 3. Number 4, I have season 2. I think it's slightly better than season 3, and only because I think the length is better, but not by much. Ultimately, I think what ended up happening was they got their budget cut from season 1, but ordered twice as many episodes. So while season 1 was only 6 episodes long, season 2 was double the episodes with half the money or something like that. And it really shows because there's a lot of filler, pointless episodes like Cherokee's Rose. And it's funny because this whole season takes place on the farm. In the comics, the farm is only a couple pages long. They're only on the farm for a couple pages. In the show, they're in there for a whole season. They had to make something work, and it's because the budget cut, they had to find a cheap location to kind of film at. And you can really tell there's not much zombies, there's not much walkers, there's not much action. It's just a very slow season. But man, there are some good episodes. I love the first episode. The Barnes, the event, and then season finale were really good. good. And the season finale was great. I loved the scene with the kid that they kept. I forgot his name. There's this kid that they run into, and there's this whole thing about whether they kill him or not, because if they kill him, then it's over. They can't let him go, because if they let him go, he's going to go tell his people where they are. So it's this whole like moral dilemma of whether or not it's right to kill this kid or not. I thought that stuff was really good, mainly because I loved the episode in Nebraska where they're holed up in that bar. Even though I think the season is way too long, this season should have been cut in half. Should have been 6 episodes. I would have been fine with 6 episodes on the farm. That's fine. But 12, man, they pushed it. They really pushed it. But the reason I think it's a step above season 3 is simply because I thought when this season was good, it was really good. But I think the filler is worth getting through for the good episodes. And I think the same can be said for season 3, but I think because season 3 is so long and it doesn't have a good season finale, I did not like the way the season 3 ended. I think that puts season 2 above it for me. Yeah, I know, unpopular opinion, but at number 3, I'm going to put season 1. I think this season is really overrated. I love the first episode of the show, don't get me wrong. I think the first episode's great. It's probably one of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead. And then for a season that's only 6 episodes long, this season is filled with filler. Could have just been straight from there, straight to the camp, from the camp to the CDC. And that's it. You could have whittled this down to 3 episodes. When the season, once again, the season premiere and finale were fantastic and saved the season for me. But and the camp sequence, the CDC, the camp, and the whole first episode. But the whole stuff in the department store, them going back to the department store to find Merle, and they get caught up, and this whole gang, they got to give guns to this gang, and it's like, it just felt unnecessary and kind of wasted. And it's only 6 episodes long, so. But there are 3 fantastic scenes in the season which make it, in my opinion, stand out above the rest of the shows. No, I wouldn't place it any lower. Really deserves a spot number 3. Number 2, I'd put season 4. Yeah, so I like the stuff that involved the governor. And I like the switch between this. So you had the stuff with the flu virus going on, and then you flip back to a more methodical episode with the governor. I thought those episodes were a lot better, mainly because it didn't have Andrea, so we got to focus on the governor. And I like the kind of the build back up with the governor. He starts as just this normal guy. He actually seems like he's dealing with the end of season 3. And I like that we got to kind of experience him going crazy through the course of the season. And he seemed like he's pretty much normal in the first part of season 4, and then he just gets crazier and crazier and crazier before he snaps, and had, in my opinion, my favorite episode of the series, in which we finally got what season 3's finale should have been, which is the governor attacking the prison, and it was everything I wanted to be and more. Major characters die, so I thought the first half of the season was alright. I liked the switch between going from the governor to the whole flu thing, even though I thought the flu subplot was kind of unnecessary. I do like the switch. It was like intense with the flu stuff, or the virus, whatever. They flip over to the governor, and I liked his solo episodes. Then after that, we went straight to Too Far Gone, and then after Too Far Gone, we got some really good episodes. One involving Carol and the 2 kids she's with, which was amazing. Actually, I think that rivals Too Far Gone for my favorite episode. There's a twist at the end of that episode that was, I wish I remembered the name of it. And then I think the season kind of dips. It gets a little boring. I love the stuff with Daryl and the biker gang. I thought the episode with Daryl and Beth was kind of awkward. That's kind of how I feel. I felt like the first half season was really good. The second half season has some great episodes, but the rest of it was kind of easygoing. And the season finale was as much a cliffhanger as season 6 was, but most people don't seem to look at that. Most people don't comment about season 4's finale being a cliffhanger. Anyways, my opinion on that. Number 1, big surprise, it's season 5. My favorite season of the show. A lot of people's favorite season of the show. I think this was the most consistent out of all the seasons. Right from the start, from the first episode, which was amazing. From the consistency between the episodes was so good. Even after season finale, the second half season was just as good, following out Andrew, because it had an event. You had the first part, which was set in Terminus. They're out of Terminus, looking for a place. They find the church. They find Father Gabriel. Then episode Coda happens, which I thought was okay. I didn't mind the Beth solo episodes like a lot of people who hated them. I just didn't think Emily Kenny was a great actress. I think she was an okay actress. I just don't think she was alright to lead a solo episode. But at least the episodes were at least somewhat entertaining. I didn't find myself groaning too much throughout them, like in season 7 and 8. The twist with Beth being killed off was pretty genius and something that came out of complete left field. But I thought it was necessary, because I thought Beth as a character was kind of, maybe not useless, but she didn't do anything for the last several seasons, so I kind of felt like it might have been necessary to go ahead and kill her off. And then we got the stuff with Alexandria, which I thought was also really great. Season 5 was easily the most consistent season, and the season I liked the most. There were some low points, but man, this season was pretty great. I think every episode for the most part was like a really good episode. It's the one season show I can sit there and watch anytime. Anyways, 30 minutes I've been ranting. I don't know how long the actual video is, so yeah, I think that'll about do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you want to see more content. I love you all, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Pulled up, tell 'em pull the curtain, roll 2, no 3, got a fifth of bourbon, got 4 bitches that shepherd German, that I want the break from, I need to learn, and they told us all that we'd end up broke. We sucked it up and we did the most, now we taking over, we want the glow. to go take the